Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, I don't know how many of you followed the proceedings in Senate. There's something that happened. In fact, there were a lot of chaos in the Senate, but there's one particular scenario that I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, before we even continue, I believe you know that this impeachment session has now reached the Senate. Mind you, the National Assembly voted, but that did not mean that they went through all the evidences of GACHAGUA. So they just treated the whole matter politically. Now, on the Senate, there was a proposal by Aaron Cheriot for an 11-member committee that would look into these accusations on GACHAGUA and the evidences from GACHAGUA and from the National Assembly. Now,
next order, Majority Leader.
There's a motion on the, I beg to move the following motion: the establishment of a special committee to investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, EGH.
Now, what happens is that EDWIN SIFUNA was supposed to second that motion which Aaron Cheriot, the majority leader in Senate, had fronted. But for those of you who managed to watch the session, you will agree with me that EDWIN SIFUNA declined to second that motion that would have allowed 11-member committee to be the body in charge of discussing this issue of Rigathi Gachagua. You know, this is paving a way for Senate plenary to be the entity that is going to look at these issues. So I want us to go extensively into this matter, ladies and gentlemen. But before you do that, please just go below there and like this video. It's so important if you like this video. I'm so grateful for everyone who has been liking our videos. I don't take that for granted. Subscribe to our channel if you've not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I want us to look at this 11-member committee and the Senate plenary session. Now, for the 11-member committee, this is akin to what happened with the agricultural CS, whereby a team was formulated to look at the issue of the CS for agriculture, on that issue of fertilizer, and you know what happened. Most Kenyans were not happy with the deliberation of that committee. So SIFUNA realized that this is the case, and because based on how I've seen SIFUNA, it's like he wants justice to be done on Rigathi Gachagua. So because of that reason, SIFUNA did not want to second the motion.
Next order. Order number 8, motion: establishment of a special committee to investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there's a motion on the, I beg to move the following motion: the establishment of a special committee to investigate the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, EGH, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
It's a matter that is extremely unique, that has elicited immense public attention, and therefore, Honorable Speaker, given the mood of the House and especially on the minority side, I respectfully decline to second that motion.
And that is what paved the way for the Senate plenary. It now means that now this is going to be a full session. The senators will be forced to debate this matter and hold some caucuses, you know, try to even some deep consultations of this matter, and then vote. That is why I came across a certain article somewhere that was saying that what Rigathi Gachagua needs right now is 17 senators to oppose the motion, or rather to oppose the impeachment, and then he will be safe. Now, if you go back to the allegation, or rather the footage, the picture that surfaced of Rigathi Gachagua and 11 senators. You know, if you go to that case of 11 senators who are seen with Rigathi Gachagua, then you will realize that Rigathi Gachagua is closer to, stopping this impeachment by looking for 6 more. If he can look for 6 more senators, and because I know one of the senators is going to be SIFUNA, I am very sure about that. So Rigathi will find 6 senators from, ODM, from Wiper, from other regions, who will add up to the 11 senators that Rigathi was seen with, and that will give him the number he needs to overturn this decision by the National Assembly. So there is still some political lifeline for Rigathi Gachagua going forward, but it's in the Senate. So, ladies and gentlemen, SIFUNA made a very bold decision not to second the motion, simply because he knew that Rigathi was not going to be given probably justice. Maybe this thing would have been one-sided. But just like I maintained in my previous analysis, there is still room in the courts. So we have this matter at the Senate, the trial chamber. Then we still have this matter, if it goes through the trial chamber, then there is still court to look at the processes, to look at everything, if at all everything has been in accordance with the law. Mind you, the courts will simply look at the whole process. The whole process, if it was adhered to, based on how they had pronounced their stand. If the whole process was adhered to, and the decision is to have him impeached, and the evidences are tabled and they are factual, then I think Rigathi would just go. But if the procedure was not followed, the process, and if the courts realize that these documents are not valid, are not legit, then most likely they will overturn that impeachment. This is akin to what happened with Kawira Mwangaza. So let's get back to Edwin Sifuna's decision. Why do you think Edwin Sifuna made that very bold decision to reject the 11-member Senate, 11-member committee? It's very easy for whoever who is financing this impeachment to easily control 11 members as opposed to the whole Senate. I have seen the mood in the Parliament and in the Senate, and I've seen how Amason King is reacting. And probably most likely Amason King wanted the 11-member committee. But you see, he is the referee there. He cannot pronounce himself on that ground. But based on how he was reacting, it's as if he would have preferred to have an 11-member committee to look into this issue, because that would have exonerated the Senate from blames that has already been apportioned on the National Assembly. Because there's a lot of accusation on the National Assembly now that they simply rubber-stamped someone's motive of impeaching Rigathi. So Kingi would have preferred to have an 11-member committee that was going to have looked at this matter, not the whole Senate. But because Sifuna made his position known, the whole process is going to be subjected to a plenary session. Senate plenary session. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in your comment section and you can offer your reaction. Do you think Gachagua still has a chance, or should he just be kicked out by the Senate, just like the National Assembly did? Just go below in your comment section and you can offer a reaction on that. So perhaps if you watch this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.